Hi, it's James from Hidden Depths Coaching. Thought I'd do another wee clip on, what's kind of holding us back, right? And we've got to agree on one thing, right? That everything up until this moment has passed, right? So it's gone. There's no bringing it back. All you've got is right now. So even that moment there is now past. So we've got until this moment. So everything in our life up until this moment is a story. So say for instance you started at 0, which we all do, and maybe, well, I'm 43. Well, that story could go on to 100, maybe even beyond that, right? So it is part of your life story. But the fact is, you can only start from where you are now, right? So the bit at the back is your story. And we work off a thing in our body called something being true or false, right? That's kinesiology, where things either feel truthful or they feel false, right? So when you look at your story, if you were being truthful with yourself, you would actually feel pretty good, right? So I can guarantee you that if you're not feeling good, it's because you're looking back in your story and you're making it worse than what it is. You're making your story feel worse than it really is. Because if you were looking back in it and being truthful about it, you would actually feel pretty good. And we do talk about things like positive thinking and being positive, and I always say this, right? Positive thinking has a massive, massive part in everything that I do, but there's no point putting a positive spin on something that you need to be truthful with. If you see something and you're trying to be positive about something, then you may hit a place of denial because you're just avoiding it. What I'm trying to say is you've got to get to one point from where you are now that you can look back in your life, right, and be honest with yourself. Because you will feel 100 times better when you're truthful. Because often you're seeing it worse than what it is. So if you could see it for the truth, you're either seeing it worse than what it is, or you're kidding on it's better than what it is and denying it. So that's where you'll get a bit where you maybe get somebody who is quite negative on their story, so they're making it worse, so they're making their story feel so bad, right? Then you might get somebody else who's trying to kid on their story never happened, so they're in denial, right? So you're either making it worse than what it is and feeling maybe hopeless or miserable about it, or you're kidding on it's better than what it is and you're in denial. Right? So the first job for me, and this is kind of what I do in my coaching, my seminars, my workshops, is get people to actually look at things from their past and actually see it for what it is. And the 2-day workshop I had there, everybody's sharing their own stories, and it's when they share their own stories they'll realise things like, I've been too hard on myself about that. I've never given myself enough credit for what I've went through and all that time. That's what I'm saying. That the only thing that's ever going to move you forward from here is being truthful with yourself, right? So this is a way to work out if you're being truthful with yourself, right? If you are being too hard on yourself, right? If you're feeling really, really negative, you've got no motivation, you're feeling really down, it's because you're looking at your story and you're making it worse than what it is, right? If you're at a place where you're faking feeling good, so you're faking happiness, but really deep down inside you feel crap, then you're looking at your story and you're denying it. You're trying to kid on that it wasn't there, that it never happened, right? So if you really want to start, positivity will come natural from this. If you can just look back at your story from there to here and see it for what it is. If you were an ass for a few years, I was an ass for a few years. If you were good the other years, then I was good the years. I guarantee it kind of strikes a balance over time. I don't know anybody out there that could look back in their life and say throughout that full life that there's not been anything that they've done that, they weren't proud of. And if they have, then, life's about taking risks, life's about taking chances, life's about making mistakes. I've learned through more of my mistakes than what I have through, the things that I did right. So yeah, the message that's just out the blue is, if you want to feel this, non-judgment about yourself, then take a wee look and actually say, just be honest with yourself. You've messed up at times. You've maybe messed people about. You've been late. You've done all sorts of stuff in your past. So just be alright with that. But if you're in a place of, kidding on that you're feeling better than what you are, I think sometimes, that can have a negative spin, because the old fake it till you make it bit, that burns out. You can only keep that going for so long, and then, the truth always comes back to bite you. So my advice would be, this is where my coaching's going, my seminar's going. I got somebody today, and all I did was look back on their story from when they were very young to the age they are now, and I told the fucking truth, and it felt so much better. Yeah, they got a bit upset about it when they realised it all, but at the end of it, because your story is trapped in here, and that's what I'm saying. Some people are either looking at it and making it so much worse than what it is, they're not being honest with themselves, because as soon as you're honest with yourself, it gets easier. Or other people are trying to deny it and pushing it away and putting a big fucking box lid on it. It's the kind of guy I think today, just put it in a box. The box will open at some point, so you can only live a delusional and a denying life for fucking so long until it comes out. So my advice is just dive into it and be honest about it. Admit that you've got flaws to yourself. And I'll be honest with you, as soon as you get to a bit where you stop judging your story so much and just see it as just a part of what happened, I say this all the time, character is more important than reputation. And what's stopping your character just now is you try to hide stuff. Just get it out with yourself and see it for what it is, and I guarantee it starts to feel better. So that's just a recap. I just felt like doing that. And it's one of the things. You've got to use it. Once you get to this place of feeling better, then I always say that about the mind being the garden. Don't put the plants in the garden until you've pulled out the weeds. Once you've pulled out the weeds, it's easy to plant stuff because it's just what you want to do. So listen, if you want to get on board, the one-day seminar is the one I start ripping out weeds. So it's the 22nd of April. And you'll get it at www.hiddendipscoaching.com. So it's an extra wee video. Will I do one again this week? Maybe. Alright, cheers, bye.